What's going on, Spiritualites? Welcome back for another video. It's your man Crypto Spiritual here, and in this one we're going to be looking at my back testing for the week. If you recall, we left off 06 here, where I did that on camera last week. And so this week, I was able to get in 3 weeks of back testing. So update on the 10 back tests per day minimum has not been successful. I think I'm going to tweak that, and I'll talk about that here in just a second. So taking a look at some of my stats overall, not really too happy. It's crazy that I did the exact same week. 6 and 7 are identical, and I promise you I did not fake that. I didn't just drag down. Can't believe it was the same back test results on a different week completely, but same coin. So I don't know. It just felt eerie that that happened. But if I take a look at the larger picture of it, so that one including these three as well, right? I'm hovering around 30, 20, 25 average on my win percentage. And I'm not really winning too many, but I'm also taking quite a few losses. And so over these last 3 weeks that I did that were not on camera, I took 25 losses and only took 10 wins. So not great, but it's funny because it's translating directly to my actual trading. And what I mean by that is I'm really break even. After 9 weeks, I'm break even. And here I am, hovering around zero. And in the real charts, I'm really hovering around zero. So I see it translating. So now if I can just develop some good skills, which we'll look at today, I think I'll be successful because it does seem to kind of be correlating with what I'm doing backtesting versus what I'm doing on the real charts. So my focus today is going to be zooming in on the 15 minute. So here I have the 15-minute chart, and I'm just going to go through some pre-selected samples to show you guys what I'm talking about. I want to really zoom in on the 15, find some of those key levels and see the reaction along those key levels and help that guide me into the correct entries and then the correct take profit points. Okay, guys, just remember these are pre-selected. These are not live, just for the ease and quickness of the video. So looking in here, we have a clear uptrend, right? And it's the 15-minute chart, so it's an uptrend. But I'm on the 2-minute time frame when I'm taking these trades, so I really want to zoom in. And we may be doing up, down, whatever we're doing, but right now what I'm seeing is, right, a downtrend. And so at some point, it's going to go down. I think it might come back up, something like that. Okay. However long it's going to do, this trend doesn't really matter in the long term because I only care about the next hour or so. So the next 4 bars, maybe 5 of these bars, I want to be in and out. So I can drop down to now my 2-minute time frame and find my trends. At some point, this trend will break, right? Because we're in a downtrend. So we're waiting for a convincing break. We seem to get it here. It actually looks like it's bouncing off the bottom of this. Something here catching support. Right? I do see maybe a more comfortable level would be here. But in the grand scheme of things, because we're going in a downtrend, to get back up to here would already be 50%. So I'm not waiting on that opportunity, right? I'm not waiting on something like that. This break out of this range, the strong break is good enough for me. We've got a big wick here, right? Hopefully get down somewhere around here. We can talk about how deep that retrace will go. Okay. And so sometimes, as you can see, you'll miss out on it. Moving right along, because we did get this retrace, did go to a good level. This key level in here had some reactions off of it before, right? Comes down, gets rejected from this key level. Looking for what happens around key levels, not so much the retrace level itself. It does happen to align, which is great, right? And I know this is going to go further down because we're in a downtrend, right? Again, I'm immediate. If I go back to the 15-minute time frame, I've gone down, I'm going back up, hit a good level to kind of reverse and go down from because I'm taking the immediate trend. I'm not worried about all the stuff that's going on here unless it hits one of those very key levels. And so those major levels would be here and there. I'm not worried about those so much because I'm on the 2-minute time frame. So hopefully we can get this short to complete for us. So during my back testing, I like to kind of pause at some point and be like, okay, this is probably the point where I would move to break even. Okay, we've gotten close to this low enough to where it could try to return and break through this high, so I need to protect myself from that. Okay, and it looks like we have our hit. So zooming really far into the 15 minute allowed me not to worry about being in an uptrend and, oh, where am I going to reverse from? It allowed me to say, hey, for right now, we are moving down, and that's an okay trend to take for now. Does it go with the grand trend? No, but context of what I need it for and how quickly I want to be in and out, it works perfectly. Okay, so we can look at another example here. Price is, again, on our 15-minute time frame going up and up and up and up. But if I zoom in to just these past few hours, price looks like it's in a range. It's ranging from here to here to here, and now it looks like it's gotten to the bottom. Now this might not be the end of it ranging, but I am looking for some forceful moves away from the bottom because we've been stuck between these 2 points. Okay, and so I could draw my 2-minute time frame as a downtrend, which is right now breaking out of. So let's take a look at what could happen if I set up a long, right, to retrace and then go up to the high of our range. Now this is kind of extended. I can go up here and still get a good risk to reward 2.5. Maybe it breaks this low again. I need a little extra space up here. That's fine. Let's try this out. Oof. Okay. All right. And so we break out of here with some strong uptrend. Almost got taken out right here. Luckily, I covered this bottom low, and we can take off here. Now, this one does go with the overall trend of up, right? So in this case, if I quickly jump before we get to take profit, I quickly jump back to here. All right, this could be a reaccumulation schematic here that could be going up even further to take off. Now, that's not part of my strategy, but been watching a few things. I've got something special for you guys coming up this Friday, so check that out when it drops. I don't want to give too much away. So anyway, for now, my target is 2.5%. I just need that to go up here. And again, with this leaning up here, even though there's a lot of space for it to come back to, I'm probably going to go ahead and move my stop loss to break even. All right, so it's a free trade. I do that. I could do this, but it just, to me, that looks weird. I don't know. Stop loss to break even. Let's use that. And then maybe price doesn't have enough, or maybe it is. Okay, and then we end up getting it there. So another full take profit. You can see how I'm using it, how I'm really looking at the 15 minute to try to determine what's going to happen next in the short term, and then find a trend that needs to break in order for that to happen in the short term. Okay, let's get something on XRP here. We are in an uptrend. All right, oh, let's even get to the 15. Okay, we're in, it's going up, it's going straight up. And while this does look, especially looking at the RSI, right, it looks like it's overheated. It looks like there's no way that it's going to keep on going. We're in an uptrend, so that's what we're going with in the immediate term. Even if we just go from here to here or some small gain, this is an uptrend. So immediately I'm thinking maybe it may come down and drop into somewhere in here and continue to go up. Who knows, but I'm going to go ahead and take the trend as it is until it breaks a key level. All right, marking out these key levels here. Until it breaks one of these, I really have no reason to go against it. So let's drop down to the 2 minute and see what we have. Okay, so if you have this idea, I didn't really break too much significantly. Be looking for something breaking over here. Okay, so it looks like a trend is forming here. If I can break this, that'd be nice. There we go. So I've got the break that I wanted. It does happen at a change of character, which is awesome. Love to see that. I don't want to let it get away from me, but I don't want to chase it too much. I don't have too much to go up here. I think I can extend it a little bit. I would hope this trend is going to go a little bit, but again, on the 15, it doesn't look too great. So let's adjust the entry point here. I like that. Let's see if we can get that. Okay, thought it was going to leave us behind there. Let's see what we can get out of it. Looks like we would have been able to get a better entry, and boom. So it did not work out, but we hit a key level, so we get to see what happens around this and possibly redeem ourselves. So as it gets deeper and deeper, I want to switch to the 15 to see what's going on. Right, finally it seems like we're getting this cool off period, which looks good for now. A zoomed in perspective, we are going down, but the next move it should make, all right, let's clear all this stuff off. The next move it should make would be a rebound somewhere up here, right, and then to dump over. Right, so I don't want to have to wait to this point here to play a dump, right? I could possibly get in on a short replay. So I'm looking for a break up. Not a really good trend, not gonna lie. That's a long way to wait. Okay, we finally get the break we're looking for. I want to be a little bit more convinced because it's kind of teetering out. There we go. That's a better look, right? Don't think it's going to go to the absolute high. Just want to play kind of a retrace into a key level here. So that means we're going to have to get in somewhere underneath here and go for a top spot there. And price retraces quite a bit, as we've seen. So it's not unrealistic that price gets down into that level before it does go up. It does look like it's not going to happen this time, but the idea was good. So now I've showed you a couple examples of how it works, how it doesn't work, and how you can be left behind. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep exploring more, keep zooming in, keep trying to take an immediate trade. I don't want to wait 4 or 5 hours to get into a trade, but I also want to take a trade that's going to go in that direction for quite a while with a low risk so I can get my full 2.5%. So I'll keep exploring on it. I'm going to try to commit to those 3 weeks of backtesting per week and trying to build confidence through this backtesting method. And then hopefully I can add on some more about the RSI and volume, which it's been helping me in the background. Still been using it mainly as Confluence, nothing to confirm or deny anything, but just to say, hey, this is interesting while you're also having another thought. So that being said, please keep in mind this is not financial advice. It is for educational purposes only. Before you begin investing and or trading your hard-earned money, consider consulting a financial advisor. And just remember, this is the journey, not the highlight reel. Trade smart, live free.